Jeffrey Seif here. Welcome to my world. You're actually in it right now with me in my study with my wife on the other end of that camera and one of our two cats on her lap and my Tree of Life version of the Bible here on my lap. And together we are on a journey. By the way, I think if you've ever worked out, it's not a question of just going to the gym once and then getting in shape afterward. It's what you accrue as you do it through time. And Jews believe that as we just process through the Torah, as we cycle through it annually, it has an aggregate effect of helping us to be more honed up in our sensibilities, more pious in our proclivities. And against that backdrop, here we are in the 6th chapter, beginning in verse 2, going out a few chapters. We're going into the world of the call of Moses to be a redemptive agent to facilitate a great miracle for the Hebrew people. The same God, by the way, is looking to do a miracle for all of his people, and that includes folk like you, not just folk like me. The story of the 10 plagues is very well known, that the way God acts is he changes people's minds by force on occasion, by the dint of his own determination. Hearts get hardened, but he powers through that to facilitate a great redemption. And it's not only what he does from heaven, he raises up an individual on earth. And here Moses is the mouthpiece. And I want you to look with me, please, in the 6th chapter. I want to just do a few verses. There's no way to do it all, begging your indulgence. But I just alight upon a few things that are important to me. And the verb action here, you can see God on the move and the way he identifies himself so forcefully. God spoke to Moses in 6:2 and said, I am Adonai. I appeared to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as El Shaddai, yet by my name. And then he references Adonai, the Lord, or the Tetragrammaton, the Yud He Vav He, where we get the word Jehovah from. He says, in days past, God the Almighty, El Shaddai, I let the patriarchs know, but here there's something new. In days past, I did it this way, but now there's a shift, and he manifests himself more clearly. And I love it when he says that he manifests himself as Jehovah, or as I am. That's what Jehovah means. And the reason why I say that is so many people think God is the God of the past, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or the Lutheran, the God of Luther, or Catholicism, the God of the popes back then. People think that God is the God of the religious tradition of yesterday that we're walking out today. Or some people, God is a God of tomorrow, the prophecy charts, those that see things to come, mysteries in the heavenlies. But it's interesting, some people think God is yesterday, some people think God is tomorrow, but God thinks God is today, and that's where we need him, in the trenches of our own human experience. And he says, listen, I established my covenant to give them the land. And he goes on to say that I'm going to bring that about. In verse 5, I've heard the groanings of Bnei Israel, the sons of Israel. You might hear the groanings of our cat right now, that she's groaning for lack of resource. I don't know why she's complaining. Mommy Barry and Daddy feed her. Mommy gives her cat food, and I give her my hand to chew on all the time. But jokings aside, here, God hears the groanings of his people. There are occasions when we just groan, but God can fix that stuff, and he sends Moses to do it. In verse 6, say to them, I am the Lord, and I will. I want you to hear all the I talk. It sounds a little narcissistic. I this, I that, I this, and I that. But I want you to hear it. I mean, not that it's narcissistic. God has a right to. He's just manifesting himself personally in a way that people can know what his intentions are for them. And I want you to read it, not just that God is talking to Jews, but that God is talking to you, because we need him today. I do. He says, therefore say to Bnei Israel, I am Adonai, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. I will deliver you from their bondage. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments. I will take you to myself as a people. I will do this. I will do that. There's a kind of real presence here. There's the manifest presence of God intending to do good for his people, not ill. He's not indifferent. He's not far removed. He's present and there to facilitate a great redemption. And 7, I will take you to myself. I will be your God. You will know that I am the Lord your God who brought you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. So I will bring you into the land that I swore to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and give it to you as an inheritance. I am Adonai. I am the Lord. Now, you say, look, here I am in Tallahassee or in Syracuse, New York. I mean, it's great that God showed up to the guy in the wilderness somewhere. He's going to get people out of Egypt and take them to Canaan. And okay, I get it, but what does that story have to do with me? I'll tell you what it is, that God has a plan for people's lives, and he is minded to facilitate the accomplishment of that plan. He needs a willing prophet. He needs Moses to step up and give voice to it, and he needs people to willingly comply with it. But all things considered, when this thing works, it works gloriously. And it's easy to say, well, he was like that with Moses. But even subsequent to Moses, when Moses was dead, God spoke in Joshua chapter 1, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you. If you look at in the New Covenant, if you look at the Gospel of John, Moses is referenced as pointing to Yeshua as the ultimate prophet. Certainly in the book of Hebrews, the author tells us that many in various ways God spoke through our father, the prophets, but in these days he has spoken to us through a son. That is a greater redeemer than Moses. And there's a greater redemption than just going from place A to place B, from Egypt to Canaan. There's something on the table. Now, what I have on my lap is the Messianic Jewish Family Bible. And this is my preferred text. I hope you're going with me on the journey in it. I hope you're reading the Bible, if not this, some Bible. And I know you'll pick up in there that God has a great plan for you. You're going to give it a vision there of a God who's a God to act on your behalf, who knows your circumstance, he knows your groanings, he knows what you need. And I want to encourage you to look to him, open up his word, and allow yourself to hear from him. Do what he says, and you'll experience what Jews experience, and that is when we follow the prophetic voice, good things happen. Many blessings. Come back. Join me again next week as we continue our journey through the Bible. God bless.